Hello students, today we're going to be going over the prep for perming and tinting lashes. So right now we're doing the prep. We've done our consultation with our client. Now we're going to go ahead and cleanse and prepare the area. So I'm going to get a little bit of some makeup remover on a lint-free, moistened lint-free pad, and I'm going to get the lashes here. Okay, now I can use a little spoolie to go in there and brush those lashes, or I can go ahead and use these little micro spoolies here. I really like these right now. They allow you to get from the base to the end of the lashes. Okay, and you can make sure here that you removed all the mascara and makeup. Now, what you won't see me use is I will not use one of these little makeup brushes here. They're very soft, but look, they have a lot of little nooks and crannies here. I don't want to deal with that, especially when I'm next to the eyes. I'd rather just go ahead and use my disposables and throw them away after and not have to worry about thoroughly disinfecting that brush. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and rinse the makeup remover off. Now you can use Q-tips, moistened Q-tips, to go ahead and do that here. Okay, or you can use again the lint-free pads here. You do a really good job of rinsing the area. Okay, so once you've rinsed everything, now you can go back with a dry lint-free pad and just dry that area. Really good. You can also use a little fan. These are really handy to dry the area. Okay, now that I have my lashes clean, my lids clean, I can go ahead and put the eye pads on. Before that, I may want to go ahead and curl the lashes so that when I perm them, they already have a little bend and they'll go ahead and adhere to the rod easier. So once I've done that, now I can go ahead and put the little eye pads on. Some of them come with treatments that help them slide a little better, and you know, they give benefit to the client. They're getting a nice treatment on top of getting their lashes curled. If yours did not come with a treatment on them, you can put a moisturizer on there, or you can go ahead and put some petroleum jelly on there to help them glide. Okay, so let's see. I want to go ahead and move these over a little bit. So what I'm doing, my client does not have lower lashes, but I'm going to try to isolate those lower lashes under this pad here. I'm going to protect them so they're underneath there, and we're not going to perm them. Okay, so we have a little treatment on the lower lids. The lashes are clean and ready to go. So now we're done with the prep and we're ready to move on to the perming of the lashes. Hello students. Now that we have our client prepped, we're going to go ahead and start the lash perming procedure. Again, I already have my client prepped and ready to go with the iPads on, the lashes cleansed. So I've already taken the time to pre-shape my perm rods, cut them to my client's lash line. The Mannequin I'm using here has a small eyelid, so I did have to trim them down. You will want to do this to your client, pre-measure them so they'll fit on correctly. You're going to see that we have to bend the perm rod a little bit to bring it to the lash line as close as you can. Do not go over the lash line, but just bring it up to, and then hold it there so it gives the adhesive some time to dry. Okay, about right there. I think I'm as close as I need to be to that lash line. Okay, let's scoot it just a little bit more. Okay, right there, I think I got that. Alright, let me get my next one. I put some adhesive on it. I'm doing it straight out of the container here because my Mannequin does not have any germs. If you are doing a client, you would have to use maybe a little applicator brush like this or a smaller one so that you do not contaminate your adhesive. But I'm doing a Mannequin. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and place it as close to the lash line as I can without going over. And this is just like lash glue. You have to wait for it to get a little tacky, a little dry, a little tacky for it to stay in place. So you do have a little working time with it. Okay. So as that's drying there, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and I'm going to show you this little mirror here that you can go around and you can see the lash line a little easier here. Okay, I can see it a little easier than I could from coming up on top. So I can look and see if I need to move it a little more, or if I need to put a little more adhesive on there. I can go ahead and do that right now. I really want this to stay in place as I'm doing the procedure. So do not be afraid if you have to apply more. Okay. And you'll see, you can barely see that lash line there. There we go. Alright, so now that I have them in place, I can go ahead and put some adhesive on the top of this perm rod. Alright, and I want to make sure that I have enough on there. And I'm moving it around a little, brushing it there so it'll get tacky. So then I can bring my lashes right on that perm rod. Okay. See right there? Now, I love this tool here because it has this part that I'm using that will help flatten it and adhere it. And then it has a comb side, a little comb side that you can go ahead and comb the lashes onto, and it will separate them. Okay, I have a couple that are not adhering, so I'm going to go back, put a little more adhesive down. And then gently comb them. Alright, so take your time with this. You want to make sure that you get all the lashes on. Alright, so now I'm ready to do the other side. Okay. Again, I'm doing this directly from my container because this is a mannequin. If it was a model, I would use an applicator. Alright, so now I'm going to go back and do the same process I did on the other side. On this side, don't worry if it takes you a little time. It's taking me some time here too. Okay, oops, let me go ahead and go. If you have to put a second application, go ahead and put a second application. You can see here I'm having a little problem with some in the corner here, on both corners. Okay. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to need to put a little more adhesive on there. Let's see. Let me let that dry a second, and let me do a little more on this side. Get that good and tacky. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for a little bit before we go ahead and start with the solution. I want to make sure that these are adhered. Okay. I want to reinforce these. With the process, it's going to get moist, so we want to make sure that these are going to stay in place for the whole procedure. Alright, so spend a little time here. Okay. And if you're finding you have this problem too, you may want to curl the lashes first so they do have that head start with that bend in them. Alright. There we go. So once you're satisfied all the lashes are adhered to the rod, we can go ahead and go on to the next. So I'm going to go ahead and dry these a little bit. See if that helps. Okay. Yes. So now they're ready to move on to the next step. Hello students, we're back. We went ahead and adhered the lashes to the rod, and now we're about to put the perm solution on. We have 1, and then we have 2, step 2, and step 3. So I have my gloves on now. We're going to go ahead and get an applicator brush here. I'm going to go ahead and I have my product portioned out here in the little cup, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it first to the lash line. Okay, and then you can bring it out. So we're going to go ahead and do that to both the lashes. Now we know these lashes are not going to perm. These are artificial lashes, but for demonstration purposes. So we're going to go ahead and put it at the lash line. This is where we want it to form to the rod. Okay, and then you can bring it to the ends. It's really not going to do anything to the ends. These ends are straight here. But where we want the curl to happen is right here at the lash line. Okay, so let's make sure that we get it on the lash line here. You can use your little mirror there to make sure that you have it thoroughly coated. Okay. Now, some instructions will say that's it right there. You put it on there and you go ahead and wait the 7 to 10 minutes. This manufacturer says that you are to go ahead and lightly cover it with saran wrap. So we're going to lightly cover it with saran wrap for 7 minutes. Right? So once we've waited the 7 minutes, you can set a timer on your phone, the 7 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and take these saran wraps off, and we're going to go ahead and take the perm solution off. Okay. Now, what we are not going to do is we're not going to wet them with water. So we're going to go ahead and get one of these lint-free pads, and I'm going to use the flat side now of my applicator or tool here. There is the brush side, you can use that also, but first I like to go ahead and hold the rod and kind of squeegee this product off. So I'm going to get a lot of this perm solution off first with the little flat side, and then I will go back with the fine comb side and take the remainder of this product off. Okay. And I'm going to get another lint-free pad and remove the rest of the product. So normally we would go ahead and rinse, but we want to keep the lashes adhered to the rod, so if we were to wet them, that would remove the glue there that we have. And you can see some of it is coming off there. But we're going to do the best we can to keep the remaining lashes on. So we're going to go ahead and keep wiping until we feel that we've gotten all the solution off. You can use my favorite tool here and just kind of get the remainder of the product off and wipe it as you go. Alright, so once we have that off, you can put solution number 2 on. This is your neutralizer. And again, I'm going to start at the lash line. And I can work my way down. Alright, so I have the neutralizer on. Okay. This says again, you can put the saran wrap on. For another 7 minutes, lightly, loosely on there. Okay. For 7 minutes, you set your timer on there. Alright, we're not going to wait the full 7 minutes. We're going to go ahead and remove these. And we're going to go ahead and go with cotton swab first. Again, I'm giving you different choices. You could use that squeegee. The important thing is not to use water. Okay. So once you're satisfied that you've removed all that product, and continue talking with your client, let them know what you're doing, and it's important to keep your eyes closed throughout the time. If she doesn't hear anything, she may want to open her eyes and be curious about what's going on. But if you're talking to her, you're informing her what the steps are and what you're doing, she's going to know what to expect. She knows that it's going to be a little while that she's going to have to keep her eyes closed. Alright, so that is your second neutralizer. Now we're going to go ahead and put the last step on. This is your Nourishing product. We have used chemicals on this hair and on her lashes, so we're just going ahead and treating them now, giving them some moisture. And a little spa treatment, if you will. Alright, so we're going to make sure we have that all covered. This one does not say to put the saran wrap on, so we don't have to do that. We can just let this process, it says, for 5 to 10 minutes. Let this process. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and so I put my timer on. It's been 5 to 7 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and remove this. So let's just review our steps. We did go ahead and do our prep where we cleaned the eyelashes, removed any mascara, any makeup. We curled the lashes if you wanted to. We went ahead and put the pads on. Then we went ahead and chose the perm rod that we wanted, the size. Then we adhered the lashes to the perm rod. Then we applied step 1, which is the perm solution. We waited our 7 minutes. In this case, we did put saran wrap over the eyelids lightly. On some, you don't have to do that. Then we did solution number 2, which is our neutralizing solution. And we went ahead and waited the appropriate time for that, which is 7 minutes. With the saran wrap over that, we removed that. Then we put step 3, the moisturizing serum, it's called on this one, and we waited 5 to 10 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the product. So now this is my final step. So now I'm going to go ahead and finally put some water on here. I got my Q-tips sitting in the water. So I moistened it with water, and now I'm going to go ahead and start removing the nourishing cream and the glue at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to go through here. And I may want to use a couple of pads here just to help me along. Now you'll see some of the eyelashes will start releasing themselves from the rod, which is perfectly fine. That's what we want. We want to be gentle and have the glue dissolve here and release the lashes. Then we're going to go ahead and put the Q-tip under the rod and gently remove that. Did you see that? Came out really easily. That's what you want. You don't want to pull on them. Alright, so again, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put the Q-tip in there. It's moistened with water, and it should release it. See? And then you'll go ahead and take that one off. And we're going to go ahead and continue to make sure that we have all the product off. Okay. So now I will get a little spoolie here, moistened with water, and just go back. Now again, these are artificial lashes, that's why they did not perm. Otherwise, on your client, I'm sure they're going to be nice and curled and look beautiful. Okay. Want to make sure we got all that glue off. The lashes and the lids. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and remove the eye pads here. Gently. Again, I'm still having my client keep their eyes closed. I can go ahead and take my gloves off. And I'm going to go over them, the lash area, one more time just to make sure. That they do not have anything remaining. On their eyes. Let me go ahead and dry this. Same thing on the other side. Okay, there we go. I want to go ahead and dry them for her. Okay, there we go. That completes our service. Hello students, we are now going to do the lash tinting. In our prep video, you saw that I cleansed the lashes and we put the eye pads underneath over the lower lashes. This time we're going to put it, if you're prepping for the tint, you're going to put it beneath the lower lashes if you intend on tinting the lower lashes and upper lashes. So we went ahead and did that, although she does not have lower lashes. And for this video, I did put eye pads on the upper lids. You would not do that normally for your client, but because this is a mannequin head and it will stain if I get tint on it, I went ahead and protected it from that by putting eye pads on the upper lashes. I'm going to use this mannequin for further videos and I don't want stains on it. Otherwise, you would only put it underneath the lower lashes. I do have my gloves on. I do have my product already mixed. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I went ahead and mixed it. I'm going to apply it with a miniature or mini spoolie. And so if you were doing the lower lashes, you would have your client open their eye, do the lower lashes, and then go ahead and do the upper ones. But I'm going to only do the upper ones. I did mix the product. You are going to do a PD test also 24 hours before you apply the or plan to do the procedure, right? Alright, so here we go. You'll see that a small spoolie works really good. And you want to saturate the lower part of the lash and then above. Alright, so you get both sides of the lashes. So again, underneath and on top. I usually get the product from the side here, not right on top, in case you have a spill. Alright, so once I've made sure I'm well saturated here, you will read your manufacturer's directions on what the timing is. For this one, the timing is about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. If you're doing the lashes, you're going to keep it on longer, 10 minutes. For the eyebrows, 5 minutes. And you're going to use probably different colors. I used the black on the lashes. You'll probably want to use a brown color on the brows. So please don't get them mixed up. The brows do not take as long as the lashes. And depending on your product, usually you're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. And so therefore on this one it says that we're going to leave the lashes 10 minutes. So I would put a timer on for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and remove the tint after 10 minutes. So these are not real lashes on your mannequin, so we don't have to wait the 10 minutes. But we do want to make sure that we saturated the lower and top of the lashes and that we do leave it on 10 minutes. You can be instructing your client to make sure while we're waiting, give them some tips on not to wet their lashes for 24 hours or apply any mascara for 24 hours. So after the 24 hours, they can go ahead and treat them regular like they would normally do with their regular lashes. But for 24 hours, you're not going to wet them or apply any mascara. So at this point, since they're laying here and you have 10 minutes, go ahead and talk to them about that. Remind them to keep their eyes closed. They don't have to have them super tight, but they do have to have them closed. On any of these procedures that you do, the perming or tinting, you want to talk your client through the procedure first. Let them know what to expect, so that if you're busy getting something ready, they don't try to open their eyes to see where you're at or what's going on. Let them know that we're going to go ahead and wait 10 minutes here, so just relax, take a little nap. And I'm going to explain some procedures, some tips, and then go ahead and you can take a little nap if you would like. I will be right here. I'm not going to leave you, but please do not open your eyes. Alright, so they know what to expect. Okay, so 10 minutes have passed. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove the tint. So you can use various tools to remove the tint. I kind of like to use a Q-tip, just a dry Q-tip first to remove the product. This to me works the best. If I try to use the pads with the gloves on, it kind of gets in the way and you kind of smear it everywhere. So the Q-tip gives you a nice handle and it's easy to manipulate with gloves on. So I try to get most of the product off with the Q-tips first until I'm satisfied that I've got most of it off. Then I will go back in with a wet Q-tip. Okay. And get the rest. Take your time with this. You want to make sure that you did remove all of that dye. Okay. So we'll do this several times. Go back and forth. Water. Then back with a dry Q-tip. Okay, until I do not see any more dye. So I still had a little dye there, so I'm going to go back again. You do not want them to open their eyes, and they have dye right there at the hairline that can get in their eye. So it's better to be careful here. Okay. There we go. And let me do it one more time. I did see a little more dye there. This side seems pretty good. Oops, a little bit of dye there. Okay. And let me remove the pads here. Okay. And I'm going to go over it one more time. Okay, or as many times as I need to ensure that there is no dye. Okay, I'm still coming up with a little bit of dye on this side right here. Okay. There we go. Dye free and beautiful dark lashes. Right on your model, that will happen, not on your mannequin. But at least we know the steps. So let's review them again. We're going to put on our gloves. We did our pre-cleanse of our lashes. We put our eye pads on to prevent the skin from getting stained. We mixed our product, a 1-to-1 ratio. You can use either cream developer or liquid developer. We applied the mixture to the lashes only. I will be showing you the brows later on. We waited 10 minutes for the eyelashes. Then we went ahead and removed the dye until we got it all off. Then we went ahead and removed the eye pads, cleansed the area really good, and we informed our client not to wet her lashes or apply mascara for the first 24 hours. After that, they can go ahead and treat them as they would their lashes before the service. And we are done.